Aber sowas von.
Yes, we are on time.
Right.
9:01. Hey, Ollie.
Hey, Michi.
We are once again here to talk about jazz
Everything we
fusion.
like, everything fusion that we like.
Everything, everything.
Actually,
There we are.
you just told me that you got your beloved Fuchs amp repaired.
Yes,
Uh,
because it didn't really run too often in the last year. So sometimes I turn it on and I have my speaker there. My 4x12 is right there, and it never
mhm.
leaves the house. It's way too heavy. But it's real fun because I can, play and I have a great sound here.
Really? What,
Um,
what what do the neighbors say?
oh, I'm extremely lucky because this house is so well isolated
Really?
that they next door is the other apartment, and they swear they don't hear anything. They
So
hear
either
nothing.
they're guitar fans or they're deaf. They
You
just
know what? I
complain.
tested it. I tested it. I was over there. The only thing there's
You
also a
could hear
piano in
it.
here. The
Hmm.
only thing you can hear if you bang on the bass notes of the piano, because
Oh,
the,
okay.
the
Uh-huh.
piano is
Uh-huh.
towards that the side where the other apartment is.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if you really bang really hard on the low notes of the piano,
Uh-huh.
you're like, oh, I can hear. I think that there's something.
Okay.
Yeah. But if I play guitar, which is not that low,
Mhm.
even like it's not a stage volume, of course, but it's a decent volume, and they say they don't hear anything. So I'm extremely lucky to have this room, this place to live because
Uh-huh.
it's just
Great.
perfect. Yeah. It's
As you
really
know,
nice.
I live in an old farmhouse outside Munich. You've been here, you know. And it's amazing because most of it is wood. It's wooden walls. Well, and you don't hear a thing.
Mm,
I can play piano at 4 in the night and nobody's gonna hear it. It's great.
that's
I mean,
absolutely
who has that
really
luxury?
yes, exactly. Mm. No, that's really perfect. Yeah. So let's see what's going on here. No, I got my amps checked because actually it really you know you can really hear some volume drops, and so the tubes are just not okay anymore.
Mhm. Not
So
reliable
after
anymore. Okay.
so they are just it needs some correction. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna post our link so that everybody knows we're here. We're live now. Maybe somebody wants to join us. That would be great. That would be really nice.
Yep.
Yes.
Looking forward
So
to the chat, guys. Come on, chat with us.
yes, if anybody is there, just
Right.
let us
Don't
know.
make us feel isolated.
Yes, and I will also share this. So maybe also my internet connection is a little bit slow. That's possible right now. Oh, it should be fine. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, so I mean I haven't had my amps for checked for a while actually now, and since we're recording soon, I thought I'm gonna check both of them.
There's no recording without the Fuchs, you know that.
It has to be recorded. And I already talked to
Absolutely.
I talked to Enrico
Absolutely.
already. We
No
have to.
No Groove Galaxy record without it.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna bring. I have this other Fender style amp,
Hmm.
and again I want to record both of them at the same
Hmm.
time.
Sure.
Yeah, I have a new. Well, it's not new. I have a little distortion pedal which I think is really working really well with the.
Hmm.
It's the Bogner
Yes.
kind of
And what about the
evolution.
boogie? The boogie? What about the boogie?
Actually, you know what? I sold the Boogie.
Ah, you sold the boogie. Okay.
I just it's just too heavy and I didn't use it anymore. It was
Well,
just standing there.
yeah, for your style, it just didn't compare to the Fuchs. I'm sorry.
It's
Sorry, boogie.
different, yeah. Yeah, it's different, and it was great. I had this since the mid '90s. I played this a lot. This rig. It was the Mesa Boogie Tri-Axis. It was like my almost like a childhood dream to have this
Sure,
thing because it's just
it's a hell of an amp, of course.
it's
No
amazing.
doubt
Yeah,
about it.
but it's kind of it's time just was up, I guess.
Mhm.
And somebody else really wanted to have it, so I just sold it. Yeah, and so I only got the Fender amp and the Fuchs, and so I'm really happy with it. It's also a great combination. You can play both of them at the same time, like a dry wet.
Yeah.
A setup where one is dry and the effects go out only to the other amp.
Guess which one's dry.
Exactly. I mean, you just can't beat it. Yeah, it's really. Yeah. It's a little bit tricky with the speakers. You really have to find the right speaker for it. Like it's not so easy to handle. Yeah. If you don't have the right speaker, for me it was hard to dial in, but luckily I found one, which is really working really well, and so it's fun to play. Yeah, it even sounds good, really soft. Yeah, you don't have to crank it really, so it already sounds decent if it's not that loud.
Sure.
So that's a great thing. Yeah. Cool. So what's up with you? You brought a tune of yours, right? So we want to talk about one of our tunes.
Yeah. Right. Today we're talking about a brand new tune. It's not recorded yet. It's going to be recorded in May, as of now, and its name is Fuzzy Logic. I hope you guys know what fuzzy logic is. Well, you're nerds. I'm sure you you know it.
Actually, I don't know it.
Yeah, fuzzy logic. It's just a it's just a name.
Okay.
I just liked it for the name. Yeah, sure. Before we talk about it, why don't I play the demo for you for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. I got it here, and
Maybe I can even bring on the music already, so people can see it.
I guess you
what's
can.
happening.
Sure, so they can read along.
If you want, should I put on the keyboard chart
I guess that's best. Yeah, use the keyboards.
so you can see what's happening?
Keyboard chart, right? All right,
Let's
and
hear
here
it.
comes the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, guys, I mean, that was just my demo, mind you. It's gonna sound worlds better if the band records it. That's obvious, but we you have to, work with what you've got. So
And of course,
anyway,
it's so amazing that we have this demo, so we can already hear like what's intended, like how it should sound like.
right, and start from there, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
great.
things like this are kind of quite are kind of hard to write down because if you look at this at this keyboard sheet and think of it as a lead sheet, if I gave you just that, it's hard to imagine it's really supposed to sound like, right?
I mean,
There's
just
not
a
much
lot of
to it.
things.
It could be anything.
A lot of things you just can't write down. That's what
Yeah,
I
like the
usually say
groove,
to
for
my.
example. Of course, you can write down the drum groove, and you can write down the bass, and so. But but to get the feel of it, it's good if you can hear at least a little bit of it, right?
Absolutely, yeah, because most things you can't really write down. I think, yeah, the really like the stuff what it's all about. Yeah, the feel of the tune and the
Right.
atmosphere.
It
That's
doesn't
something.
necessarily have to be played exactly that way. Of course not. It's just a starting point,
Yeah,
right?
and we already rehearsed it.
Right, and
So
Arno did amazing things with it. I mean, it's a funk shuffle, right? The 16th notes are shuffled, so that's a very important part of it. Of a tune like that, what the shuffle factor actually is, because okay, it could be straight 16ths, and it would be like taka 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 taka, or the 16ths can be shuffled, which means every other note is dragged. And that creates a kind of taka 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 taka. But how much? You can vary that, right? Even within a phrase, you can vary it, or from one part to the next. And that's a very important factor in those funk shuffle tunes, how much you do it. It can be just a little like taka 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 taka, or taka 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 taka. How heavy you shuffle the phrasing, that's really an important part. And not even every instrument has to do it exactly the same amount. It can be sloppier with the melody line, and it can be more exact with the rhythm section, for example. Right, so
Interesting,
you
yeah.
got okay, and over it maybe that's a little bit too much, and you just play da 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 da, right?
Yeah,
Create a
smooth.
relaxed
Yeah,
feel over a tight beat, for
but it's
example.
really cool. So you really experiment with the shuffle, like when you program the drums. Do you have some like you play around with how much the shuffle is?
Of course I do. Yeah. First of all, when I program drums, and I do that all the time, my productions, I hardly rely on loops, or I combine both. What I do first of all is I just play it really on my keys because I've been doing it for so long. I don't even have pads to do that. I really do it on keys because I've been doing it for like I don't know 30 years at least.
Before pads.
Everybody in my studio who looks at me says, "Man, that's not the method to do it." And I say, "Yes, it's exactly my method to do it. I couldn't do it any other way." And I play that straight into the computer for a whole part, for an whole A part or so. The whole drum thing, like kick and snare and hi-hat, everything together, even toms sometimes, and I don't quantize it at all. First of all, to find out what my feeling is, and then sometimes I look at it in the piano roll editor. You know what that is, right?
Yeah. Oh.
You know that, yeah, where you can see where your notes fall on the grid. So you can see, okay, you've delayed the snare a little bit, but the kick drum is pretty much on, and the hi hat is kind of in between, for example. Okay, and from there on, I can perfect it because there are always, of course, there are always some corners that are not so well played, some bum notes in it and everything. I edit that out, and then I might quantize it a little, even by hand. Just like that, but it's very important for me that that a drum part sounds lively. You can't get that by quantizing it. And also not by humanizing a quantized part. It's not the same. You have to go the extra mile and really play it until you get something that gets you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
That feels right to
Absolutely.
you. If you don't do that, you'll stick with a lesser part.
Yeah. No, I bet. I bet. Yeah. I guess I'm way too lazy to really like do this. I'm already happy if I have a good sounding drum part where I can play along. Yeah. Now with all the plugins you have and stuff, they have so many presets. But of course, the way to do it, basically to find your groove, is to figure out like what do I like? Like what would I play if I
Sure.
was playing
You
drums?
can always come back to it and edit it later, right?
Yeah.
Do a little bit of editing now and do some more later, and exchange some sounds and see how the groove changes with that, until you get to what your vision of it is, what you really want to hear. It doesn't have to be done in just one pass.
Sure. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I might check out some more drum programming maybe.
It's
Interesting,
it's
yeah.
interesting because it informs everything else that you play. If you do that a lot, you'll see, okay, that informs your piano playing or your guitar playing or whatever.
Totally.
You
I
get
think
a
there's so many good examples of amazing musicians who are great drummers.
Yeah, like Chick
Like
Corea was,
yeah,
for example.
Michael Brecker. I once I saw a show in the Bayerische Hof nightclub, late 90s maybe. And it was Michael Brecker quartet, and it was Ralph Peterson on drums. Of course, a monster drummer. He died I think last week or 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, he left
Really?
us. Yes, he's not longer with us. And but I was just I think it was the encore or something, and I was just talking to my friends there, and I was watching this a trumpet player on the stage, and I'm like, but this is not Michael Brecker. Yeah, like this black guy playing trumpet, and then I realized Brecker is playing drums, and the drummer is playing trumpet, and it was just Joey Calderosa with a white suit, and it was like real mafia style, white hat and white. It was amazing, great show. Yeah, but Michael Brecker was an amazing drummer. Yeah, what a guy.
I didn't know
So
that.
it was really fun and it's
Okay. I
surprising.
thought he played some drums because I've read it somewhere. I don't know. But so he was a really good drummer.
It sounded pretty good. I mean,
Okay.
I don't really, that's quite a while ago, but to me it sounded, I didn't really hear the difference that much, but I was way younger now.
It's always amazing how those guys pull that off. I mean, to be a master on the saxophone like he was, you have to be practicing and playing all the time. And I mean,
Yes.
saxophone. So when
Yeah.
you practice drums, how do you do that at all?
There are a couple of people who are just beyond,
Otherworldly.
yeah, beyond what we can imagine. It's,
Hmm.
yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We just
another.
try.
So well, okay, fuzzy logic.
Yeah.
Back to this.
Right.
To this.
Actually, we have a couple of people watching. So if you have any questions, just let us know. Yeah. If you have any
Good.
questions, whatever. Yeah. If
Okay.
it's somehow related to what we do, yeah, just let us know.
Okay. All right. So this tune is actually one of my simple ones. One of my, I have to admit it, not so deep tunes. It's kind of easy listening if you like. You can listen to that in your car or whatever and whistle along if you like. It's more that kind. But that
Not a
was
bad
my
thing.
that actually was my goal for the new record to write a few tunes at least that are really accessible, even for any crowd, right? That we're going to play to. Because
Yeah.
we had that a bunch of times that there was at least a part of the audience that were not exactly fusion fans, right? That gig that we played in Regensburg at the jazz festival where this huge plaza was full of people. I mean, average people of all kind, and they just so dug what we did because our music was accessible and spoke to them. It was not so nerdy that they couldn't follow anymore unless they were specialized fusion nerds,
Yeah.
right?
No, I think that was such a great gig, and I think that's um, sometimes you think, oh, I have, we are a jazz fusion band. I have to write, something where everybody's like, oh my god, I've never heard this before. It's just about writing music that you enjoy, and it doesn't have to be complicated for that. And I totally, I mean, I don't think this is simple music. If you look at, let me show the keyboard chart again. Like if you look at the changes for the introduction, for example. So
Which is actually a four-chord phrase that repeats over and over.
right, I mean this is kind
Right.
of a lot of people on different YouTube channels, they talk about this four chord vamp thing which is going on in pop music and everywhere. Of course, it's
Sure.
it's
This could be a pop tune. This could as well be an R&B tune or something. It's really based on this progression, right? Actually, it's here.
uh,
So this repeats actually over and over again in the it's the A part and it's also used for the solos.
so how did you come up with that progression? Like, what was your thought behind it? Did you just try to hear it, or
I don't know. It just came to me, I think,
yeah? Because it's a really interesting progression, I think.
because of that change to E flat.
Yeah, because this is really the setup for this, right? So this is really, I think, a great setup for. I mean, I can't play on guitar. I can't play that many notes as you, but so
Yeah.
you get this. I think it's really interesting. Like, it's a nice colors,
It's
nice
a nice
colors.
color, right? Um, Actually, what's happening is it's two different levels. It's the bass staying on D,
Yeah.
uh, and just moving half step up to E flat and back to D, and the chords over it change a lot more, and it's the voicings that make it like.
Yeah, the voice leading works really well, of course. Yeah.
I think you can hear a lot of that in styles like drum and bass.
Yeah.
They use a lot of progressions like that with a nervous beat going under it, right?
Right.
and and smooth
Exactly.
chords that
Yeah.
bring it down, right?
Exactly.
What I like about it is that it's rather open.
Yeah.
It's not
So
functional. It doesn't really close on the D. It's
yeah.
it's open for repetition over and over.
Exactly. It's just a different color. While this is more, it's a minor sound. Yeah, D minor or D Dorian or whatever it is. Yeah, we go. This is D Mixolydian. Maybe it could also be just a different color, but it sounds different at that point to me. This sounds more Mixolydian to me, maybe. Yeah, even though there's no third, but it's a different vibe. Yeah, than this one.
Hmm.
So in this one, um, yeah, I think it's a great thing. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna just check if somebody has any questions, and I'm just move this over. Not yet. I will just do this so I can see this better, and then we go back here, and then comes the melody in, right?
Yeah, then you guys come in.
Oh yeah. I mean, the cool thing is I have to show the guitar part
Yes,
maybe.
you need the guitar part or the bass part for that, because now you guys come in
Exactly. Now
and
let's see what we do.
and you play an interesting riff against it.
Yeah, which is really um,
I'll just let you hear it from the demo because I think it combines best,
sure.
right?
Uh huh. Very cool. Yeah, I think it's very catchy. Yeah, very catchy phrase. Yeah,
Creates holes, so there's a lot of space still for imagination. What might come next?
exactly, exactly. I like this one.
Yeah,
Watch out, this amplifier.
yeah, because a sloppy reader would just,
Of course. Yeah.
overlook that.
Anyway, we don't want to read it. We just want to play it, right?
Yeah, any sloppy
But
reader would just only see it at the eighth pass.
right.
Oh wait.
There was something else. Yeah. And then we go to the next part, which is just the rhythm part for guitar now. So
Yeah,
we
this
go
is the
to
rhythm part.
so
It
let's go
doesn't
back
have
to
to
the
be, again, it doesn't have to be exactly the way it was written here. I just found that when I made the demo, and I thought, hey, just document it. It's a good starting point for
sure,
everything.
sure.
It's it's in the right places, in the right holes, and it creates the right kind of vibe for it. But of course, you can make variations of that.
Of course, yeah, but it's a pretty typical funk rhythm. Yeah. This is kind
And
of
now
the.
I just see black.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
What happened?
Hmm.
Now we're back.
Maybe your sheet is gone.
Let's see. Well, doesn't matter. Anyway, we go back to the keyboard sheet, which this is more interesting at this point. Let me see if everything's alright here. Yeah, should be fine. So let's see. Let's go back to the melody of the keyboard sheet.
Yeah. Okay, so right. It's a brass part actually, and since we don't have a real brass section, I took the chore and and played it
In a
even
minute.
play it even with a brass sound. I do
Yeah.
that time. This time I
There
do
we are.
that. Okay. I'm not so much into playing brass sounds, but well,
Well,
it's
it's
okay for me.
of course. Where did the keyboard sheet hide? I can't find it
Okay.
anymore.
You can't share it anymore, huh?
There we are. No, I can. I just, I just.
Oh, you lost it.
No, I didn't. I just made a mistake. There we are, right?
Yep.
There we are.
Right.
So,
So, okay.
so then we got this kind of it's pretty similar to what happened in the intro, right? For what guitar and bass play together. It's kind of has a similar vibe.
Yeah, sure. It stays in the same vein. And that's the part you can whistle to.
Right.
Right? If I play it for you again.
Oh yeah, that's really fun to to listen to, and it's easy to grasp, but still, you know, the harmony that's just staying there, and the active melody.
Yeah, it's a very simple riff with just some minor variation,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
I think it works well.
yeah, I
Just
think so. Yeah. Hey, there's
and
two people who just joined us.
ah,
Hey,
hey,
Mimi's already there. Hey, people, the Himalayan voices.
oh,
Yeah, that's really nice. Where are you
hey,
from? So if you have any questions, just let us know. That's why we're here.
sure.
That's we just like to talk about our music, and if anybody else is interested in it, we are happy um, to share anything we can
Come
we
along.
can.
Sure.
But that's cool, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
drop us a line if you have questions. We're
yeah,
happy to answer.
exactly. Yeah, but that's a cool melody. You could really hum, yeah. And then
Actually,
after that, we go to.
actually, sound-wise, there's a trick behind it.
Oh, really?
The road stays the same, of course. This one with the wow, 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 wow phaser, this extreme thing.
Mm.
But the brass melody, there's another sound mixed in, and most
Okay.
people wouldn't even realize it, but they would miss it if I switched it off. Listen to it. There's a synth mixed in, a lead synth,
Hmm.
and it has a lot of portamento. And what it does is this.
Right.
Now you hear it, right?
You know what? I never understood what that actually is, portamento. What is that?
A portamento, it drags the change of pitch from one note to the next.
Hmm.
So it takes it a while to move to the next pitch. So it
Okay.
does this.
Okay. That's kind of sliding in, like, or is
Yeah.
it that? Yeah,
Hmm.
or is it abrupt? The key change, the
You
pitch
could
change.
you can edit the time
Of course. Yeah. Right.
of glide, of course. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
It's
that's
called
cool.
portamento or glide sometimes.
Okay.
Portamento is funny because in classical music, portamento means something completely different.
Oh, really?
Portamento means
Hmm.
this kind of playing. That's a
Interesting.
portamento.
Mm.
So it's one of those errors, I guess, that stuck over time.
Mm. Oh, we have some questions actually. That's nice.
Ah,
Oh, somebody's from Connecticut, USA. That's so nice.
Connecticut.
Just jamming along with my flute. That's awesome. Yeah. I lived in Boston for a while, but now we are located in Bavaria, Germany. Yeah. South of Germany. Very nice. I have a question about the guitar sheet and the voicing of the guitar. Oliver,
Mhm.
you said that you like the voicing at least as an idea, but that's not what we hear, right? Well, I think we do hear that. Let me
I
go
think
back to
you
the
hear
guitar sheet.
exactly what's written.
Let's go back to the guitar
Doesn't mean
sheet.
you have to do it exactly the same way.
I have to close this so I don't get. Yeah. Let's
I'll play it
let's
for
see the
you.
guitar.
I'll play it for you and see what and listen to it. Let's see what you hear.
There's the guitar. So there's the voicings.
Okay. And here it comes.
It's like a. I mean, it's maybe not typical what I would play on a D minor 9,
Probably not.
but whatever. It sounds good. It sounds fine. It's like it's a minor. Try it. over D. And of course, this is the 5th, 7th, 9th, and 11th. Yeah, of course. And then we got just your typical B flat major 7 over D. And the E flat minor 7, minor 11 is again like B flat minor over the E flat. And then for the D7 sus, you just play the same voicing as on the D minor 11, which is totally fine.
Sure, it works.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to, there's so many choices, and if you play long enough, you go into a rut. Yeah, you keep using your voicings which you always play, and if you see D minor 11, I play this. But of course, this is not the sound you want. You don't want the 4th voicing. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, so it's always interesting to see that. But I think it's pretty much what we hear, right? This is exactly what you wrote.
All those 11 and sus chords give you a lot of choices.
Yeah,
They can be interpreted in many different ways, right?
exactly. And the chord symbols, anyway, they are just, you actually have to write down the voicing to really make sure that you get what you want, because D minor 11 can be so many things.
Almost anything.
Only D minor 13 is more. But D minor 11 could be 6 notes, could be just 4 notes, could be whatever. Yeah. And that's yeah, but it's
Well, anyway, that's a comfortable keyboard part that you've seen with those voicings in the left hand that you just hold down, and it gives you a broad sound to build upon and put something sharp on it that'll cut through, like.
Yeah, that's nice.
I always like to sit on my keyboard stool, and I have my stereo monitors around me, and I always like to have a broad sound around me that and that I can wallow in.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing. I have my monitors here. I've got my Friedman speaker back there behind me. So sometimes if I go really crazy, I have that. I have a dry signal from there and stereo from there. So the effects come from here, the dry sound from there, and that's nice. Yeah. And sometimes if I really go crazy, I put on the Fuchs and my 4x12.
Right.
But
Yeah.
can I read this immediately? Well, reading is not that hard actually. You just have to do it a while. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Can I read this?
Yeah, I think this could be sight readed. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite. Yeah, I mean, what a
Yeah.
minor chord looks like.
Yeah. That could be sight read if you had to. But we never have to. We're a band, so
Right.
I
It's
don't
not that
care.
important to sight read this actually. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's so rare that I get stuff like this, and I have to sight read it. It's extremely rare. Usually, if somebody calls me to play a rhythm part, he doesn't write out the parts because he wants me to play something that I think is good. Yeah. But of course, it's in this case you already played a part, so of course you write out what you
Yeah,
played,
well,
and this totally
I
makes
found a
sense.
part that works. Let's put it
Yeah,
like
totally fine.
that. Uh,
And it's also important sometimes sometimes I also write down the voicings because I want to have a certain sound in the voicing.
yeah, that's
Because
maybe the most important thing in that case. It's not
exactly,
written in stone anyway.
yeah. And of course there's a bunch of, I mean, I played big band arrangements where there's no way you can sight read this if you're not like a professional big band player. If you like you play the WDR big band like every day, of course you
They
get
can
better
be,
in.
yeah, they can be really hard, and some arrangers come up with stuff that I don't know. Even if you try and play it note for note, it wouldn't even sound good. Sometimes I don't know those guys do it because it actually it creates a lot of difficulties, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it really depends if somebody. I had writers who really they also play guitar. They might be saxophone players or keyboard players, and they also play guitar like you, and they know what works on guitar, and they write some amazing stuff, which I really have to shed because it really works extremely well on guitar. But it's something that I'm maybe some of the voicings are kind of not so familiar because they come up with something different and really works extremely well. Sometimes they are just not, they don't know how guitar works. They have no idea what a guitar can play. So they just write something that maybe works on piano and you have to figure it out. But I had some amazing guitar parts to read through, which I remember that Gregor Bürger with the Ear Force Big Band, he writes great parts. I mean, this stuff really sounds great, and I had to practice at least maybe 2-3 weeks to kind of be able to play it. It sounds great. Yeah, he can really write for guitar really well. So that was fun, and also so that happens. But also a lot of times it happens that you can already see from the first 2 or 3 voicings that the person doesn't know how a voicing on guitar works, and then you of course have to figure out something that works. Yeah.
I love pianistic parts, but in a big band, more often than not, they don't really make sense because you'll hardly hear it. It's more about finding the right spaces and finding something that cuts through and keeping the piano even out at times because it's going to clutter the whole score. So some arrangers just write everything all over the place just because they are passionate pianists and they love to play and write that kind of stuff, but it doesn't translate.
Sometimes
Maybe
I think
it's with their original big band. I don't know, but I've had that in more than one situation that it just wouldn't work, no matter how hard I tried.
sometimes I think they even write it as a conductor score. Maybe they are the conductor of the big band, and
Right.
they know. Also, sometimes there's written also in the guitar part. It's almost like, okay, watch out for this because the saxophone players, they're gonna play this. Just
Yeah.
don't get in their way. So it's kind of just to inform you what's gonna happen in the big band. So maybe you are just ready to lay out.
Right, but then don't write it down, right? Reduce it to the real important parts and stick to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's two different philosophies. I think there's something to it that you know what's gonna happen. Yeah, of course this part looks just it's all black because there's so much information in it. But of course you can also say, well, you know what, I don't care what's happening. Just tell me what I should do. Even especially if it's like not the regular gigs, you just whether you're subbing or something, then
Absolutely.
it gives you such a hard time to read all this stuff. Yeah.
From my own arranging experience, I can say that 90% of the situations, the more focused a part is that you give a player, the better it's going to sound.
Oh yeah.
So, right, maybe you'll only have him play some notes on the B part, if that's all you need. But there's absolutely no need to write a superfluous A part then, right?
Absolutely.
Keep
Especially
him out.
if
Keep
it's
him
a
out.
big orchestra.
He'll be happy to wait, and then give him this part, and he'll shine on it, right? There he's got his camera time, and he's happy to play that. It's much better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's totally right. Yeah. I mean, even if it's a huge band, if it's an orchestra or something, yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
You
not
don't have
everybody has to play all the time.
Right.
So it's like a 100-piece orchestra. You see them, you're thinking maybe, oh, what are they gonna play? I mean, it's 100 people, but they don't play all the time. They have their spots and they
Yeah.
play. And then,
So that's what I did as a big band pianist most of the time. Reduce the score to the real important parts and throw out what doesn't just need to be played.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's a different story. So fortunately, we don't have a big band.
Yeah.
We just have like we have 4-piece band,
Hmm.
and so
Bad,
everybody's
it's different. You have to. Everybody has to play for everybody.
every
So
part is important. Yeah.
so we can sound good as a collective.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Immersive sound. I'm glad you like it. Yeah. If you want, I don't know. Have you heard our album on Spotify? There's a link below. You can check out our first album. But now let's keep going with the second one, which is soon to come.
This one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Cheers to
Like, listen to this.
first album.
All right. So
Um,
on our new album.
there's the
Yeah.
there's the music for the second album. So
Well, we
you
just
have
covered. Okay, we just covered the A part. Let's move on to the B part now.
exactly. So now we got. Let me
And this
up.
was really meant as a contrast to break up that four chord progression. It's more like a bridge than like a B part.
Right, right. It slows down.
It slows down to a halftime feel. And okay, here it is.
Even though the
All right, now. And so on.
that's exactly. That's nice. It has a nice shape to it. Also, the rhythm is interesting. So first of all, you introduce the triplets.
It's an open rhythm, an open feel with a lot of ride cymbals and everything. It can sound big and open. And I encourage the guitar player, Mr. Vochezer, to do to do some open chords, open voicings with maybe chorus and delay or whatever he likes. Um, but the whole thing is based on a chromatic a bass progression.
Right, right.
It's like right from B flat down to A flat and to G and to F and up again. And here's a little break to keep the listener interested,
Right.
not to make him too secure. So it's from G to an unexpected B natural. Okay, and up to C, and to a kind of a hidden dominant chord, camouflaged.
Right.
Okay, and the melody over it is more like an improvisation, actually.
Right. Yeah. So actually, the harmonic rhythm, like it's faster. Like the chords change every bar now. But instead of like the A part, the harmonic rhythm is way longer. But still, because of the double time, it feels like it's slowing down. But still, you like you keep up with the chords changing every measure. That's quite cool. Yeah. No, that's really cool. Great contrast. Great contrasting section.
And it's of course it's a little place for my Moog to shine.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So there's a question that says, do you do much arranging for synths?
Yes, of course, all the time.
This is really like Oliver. Of course, if you want, you can watch our talk where Oliver is demonstrating the Moog, like the analog synth, yeah, which was really fun. And of course, there's so many sounds coming out of this keyboard. I can't believe it. Like,
It has a sound all of its own.
yeah,
It has a depth in the sound and a musicality that's unique to me. I've yet to find another synth that is so musical and almost feels like an acoustic instrument.
yeah, it's
And a line like this is, I mean, this is a field day for the Moog.
exactly, yeah, yeah. That's great. Yeah. Also, the harmony is cool. Yeah. Start with a B flat major, which is kind of was here, and then
Hmm.
oh, that's nice. Very nice colors.
Hmm. It's a little bit 70s, don't you think? It could
Yeah,
it could be out of it could be out of a prog rock tune or something like Yes or the early
totally,
Genesis or
totally.
so. They had those parts.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hippie.
So for me, this is timeless because I still listen to all this stuff, even
Hmm.
though it was.
Hmm.
It's it's like it's also like classical music. It was written hundreds of years ago, but it
Hmm.
doesn't matter because it's just great music. Same with this. I mean, this is maybe the first time you heard this was in the 70s, but it's of course it's, sounds changed a lot.
Hmm.
Uh, but still, it's a timeless sound, I think.
Right. Well, anyway, it was a typical device of 70s music was a fluty line over open floating chords, you know. So it's a little bit, it hints to that, I'd say.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
nods
yeah, I
to
think
that
so.
a little bit. But, well, I like it. It's a contrasting part to that tight um, um, A part.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's basically the parts, right? Like this. After this is the A part again,
Hmm.
and that's
Something
and
new here.
then
Hmm.
so this is pretty much. It proves that you don't have to have like 17 sections in a piece.
No,
If you got
of
two
course not.
strong ones, yeah. Or I mean, the dominant section is the A section,
Sure.
which is just this four chord
So it's so
progression with
memorable, right? That
yeah,
line is so memorable. Once you've heard it, you're gonna recognize it.
exactly, yeah. And to put in every once in a while this contrasting B part, I mean,
Mm.
that's a great piece, yeah. And we also solo on the same chords, yeah, which is cool. And oh, there's one more thing we have to talk about is the guitar solo you put in. Like
Yeah,
that's another section basically.
yeah, that's another section, right? Also on the solo part that comes after the A part. I just wrote it down in two parts to remind you guys that on the first 8 bars or whatever it's going to be, um, the rhythm is broken up,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And then the groove's going to drop in again, and I've actually what I use there and what I want to use live as well is actually a piano sound with well, I made myself a setup with a delay send. So I can bring in whenever I want. I can bring in a little delay
Hmm.
on that
Hmm.
sound. So okay. So actually, I'm using a piano in that place at least, more like
Okay.
a keyboard sound than an imitation of a real piano.
So that means you put the delay on the piano.
Right, and I have a send that I can always tweak,
Hmm.
so I can play without the delay, and whenever I feel like it, I can clutter it with delay.
Cool, cool. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. That's. I mean, it's endless the possibilities that you usually don't have. Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah, that's fun. Look. Okay, that was okay. I picked the wrong place. Let me see if I can find it.
Uh-huh.
On the demo, I used it mainly in the first part. Hard to find you.
Yeah, there it is.
Right.
Yeah, nice
And so
playing.
on. Yeah,
Nice
that's
playing.
fun. That's fun because you're playing kind of very jazzy lines, and you would never do that. You would keep them dry, but you could clutter them in delay whenever you
Exactly.
feel like it, like on the ends of a phrase or whatever.
Yeah, right.
I'll see where that leads me in a live situation.
So you set that on the 16th note, the delay?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Um,
It sounded almost like.
I think it's a dotted eight. I think
Okay, I
it's a
see.
dotted eighth note.
Oh.
Like gag 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 gag.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool. Very nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you can do so many things if you.
Yeah, you could do that too, of course, with your
Yeah.
setup. Mhm.
Sometimes just with a pedal you can put in the effects. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, actually, we wanted to go to the. We wanted to show the guitar solo.
yeah.
That's like another groove. Yeah.
Well,
That's another.
that's a kind of a chorus actually, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it? It's
Right. Exactly.
actually it's like a chorus melody, um, and also it's a call and response play between this line and the guitar that answers it, and then even can play right over it after you've heard it a few times. Let me see. Now I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excuse my bad playing, but well,
Oh, great guitar playing by a keyboard player. Look
yeah, of
at
course.
that.
That's what it sounds like. But you get the idea, right?
That's cool. It's really cool. That was the Parker.
Maybe it was my Strat right behind me.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
Very cool.
it's got
Nice. Yeah.
yeah,
No, it's a great hook line here.
got this
Yeah.
humbucker. You see that? It's got this humbucker, and yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like a mini humbucker.
It's a Seymour Duncan humbucker. Yes,
Hmm.
and it works well for that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Has a kind of 70s sound.
What thread is it? Is it like a? It has like sensors. What's the other pickup?
The
Yeah.
other pickups are what's the lace sensors,
Right.
right?
That's what I thought. Yeah. Nice.
hmm I've had this guitar for ages. I think I bought it around like 1988 or so.
Yeah, it doesn't go bad.
It has stayed with me ever since because it's so comfortable to play.
Yeah,
And also, it sounds good. It sounds really Strat-like.
that's what Clapton played exactly that year, like 88, 89. That's when the first Eric Clapton signature model came out, and it has exactly same pickups. That was that era.
Yeah,
And
you can do all the typical Strat stuff with it,
yeah,
of course.
yeah, very cool. Yeah, great
Right.
guitar playing.
Oh well, you know.
Wow, I can't play a keyboard like that. No, very nice. Man, it's a really, really great tune. It's so much fun to play it, and I'm looking forward to rehearse it. I mean, we already rehearsed it, but we never played it live, right? There was no chance to play it live so far.
No, not so far because of you know why.
Yeah. So I think that was like I went through all our recordings we did on the rehearsal. I think it was like in November or something when we were able to rehearse, right? What a shame! It's March now,
Yeah.
but we will keep rehearsing now for our recording date, which is now the end of May or the middle of May, and let's see what comes.
Yeah,
up.
that's going to be exciting.
Yes, we're gonna make some videos. And we're gonna post them here,
Yeah.
and let's see what we come up with.
Ah, it's going to be a creative explosion after such a long time. We're so dried out. I mean,
I guess so.
parched.
Yes.
Creatively parched.
I guess so. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Everybody wants to play now. Just stop practicing. Just go out and play some music together with people again.
I'm so tired of monologues in my studio here.
Yes, yes.
Nice as it is, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we plan to meet on Sunday to go through some tunes and let's see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys.
So thanks everybody for watching. I
Yep,
guess
thanks for listening. Thanks for being with us and for your questions. You can always reach us, as you know, not only in our chat, but during the week also. Drop us a line on Facebook. Do whatever you like. We're happy
Exactly.
to answer.
That's right, yeah. Otherwise, we will be back here on next Thursday at
Sure.
9
If you have
p.m.
suggestions, what you'd like to discuss, again, drop us a line. Tell us.
Totally. So maybe we could do another favorite albums thing next week,
Yeah, maybe. Sure.
or we pick another tune. Oh, we will think about something. Let's see.
Or we talk about your guitars.
We could.
Yeah.
There's no amps, right? You know that I'm gonna go on Saturday. On Saturday I will go. Did I tell you that I have a jazz guitar build?
Yes, you did. Uh-huh.
On Saturday I will go there, of course with Enrico, and we will. We're gonna hear the first sound that comes out of it. So he will put some strings on, and we can hear the first sound of the new guitar.
Oh, that's
gonna
kind of
be-
like the moment when a keyboard player buys his first grand piano, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a real art show. Not that I mean, this is a great guitar, but it's it's thin, and it's acoustic. It's just not loud.
Doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah.
Sure.
But what I was just looking forward is a guitar you can play just acoustic. It's gonna sound like a real guitar. It's not, the top is thin. There's nothing screwed inside of the top.
Okay.
Breaks
And
the
this-
heart of every guitar builder, where you choose this beautiful wood and then you carve it and stuff, and then you put some big holes in there to put some pickups in. So this
Okay.
gonna have a full intact top.
Body. Uh-huh. Good. Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm really looking forward.
And it's full size, thick like that, or what?
Yes, it's a 17 inch. So this is a 15 inch. It's
Yeah.
it's just a very small body. It's like a I think like a 335, which is even a little bigger. But it's gonna be 17-inch like a Wes Montgomery L5, just like a Gibson L5, but fully acoustic.
I like to feel the vibration of those
Oh
guitars.
yeah, even this one. If you play this, that's actually the first. When I put this guitar, like I first played this guitar, I was like, this can't be true. It's a small guitar. It has thin strings on, so how can this vibrate so much? It's amazing. So they really got it down here. I think it's such a different beast than like a 335, which is just it's meant to be played loud acoustically, a 335. So it doesn't vibrate. It's all a laminated wood. Yeah. And this got a real. I mean, we can talk about that if you want, if you're interested in that. I can talk about this forever. So
Okay.
it shouldn't be that. Not today.
I counter with my Parker Fly.
Yes, I played the Parker for a long time.
Yeah, it's really a futuristic guitar, isn't it?
It's one of the most comfortable guitars ever.
I love it for that reason.
It's an amazing invention. Yeah, I was stupid enough to sell mine. Actually, I want one. I want it back. Yeah, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, somebody messed up the electronics because something was broken in the electronics, and yeah, it's pretty hard to fix it.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I
not
guess
so easy to get.
Parkers are much cheaper now than they used to be, right?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They really went up now.
I think when I bought mine, it was like what? I mean, I've had it for a long time now, but I think it was like something like what, 3,000 euros or so?
Yeah, at least.
Quite expensive.
Yeah, it was marks back then. I think almost 4,000 marks. And it's totally worth it. I mean, it's just such a ingenious invention. And I was, I sold it. I don't know, 6-7 years ago or something, because I was like, oh no, this is just out of fashion and nobody plays it anymore. And but it's just now I'm looking for one actually. If anybody has one, I'm looking for it.
You can borrow mine from time to time.
I'm looking for one actually. I'm at some point I try to find one, which is it's just an amazing piece of equipment. It's really unbelievable. Yeah.
Right.
We can also talk guitars if you want. If anybody's interested.
Oh, why not? Or whatever.
We figure something out.
Suggestions. Come
Yeah,
on.
let us know what you're interested in. We come up with something. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
So let's call it a day, huh?
Yes, exactly. Let's have some wine or beer or whatever.
Yeah, I just finished mine.
And we meet next week. Next week, 9 p.m. Middle European time.
Right.
Perfect.
We're looking forward to it.